Hi guys, I'm back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about high school, give advice, and also just talk. I'm on my senior year. I'm going into my senior year, which is insane to me. I can't even fathom that. So I wanted to give advice to the ones going into high school, or even just the ones that have been in high school but don't know what the next year is gonna be like for them. So I just wanted to shed some light on some things, but also I'm going to be talking about negative things that are involved in high school because I'm real and I want you to know both sides of the story. So if you're here for just positive and hear about all the great things in high school, you should probably just click off because that's not what you'll be getting today. Okay, so I have a list of things to kind of help keep me on track because I'm terrible about staying on track and I will just sit here and ramble and make no sense. But I also kind of number them so they would be in kind of a functional order, like the things that go together will be together, but I'm not necessarily having specific categories. But the first thing I wanted to touch on, and the biggest thing for me, I wish I would have learned this sooner because that would have saved me a lot of hurt. Learn to love your own company, because just appreciate being by yourself and having fun by yourself and being able to be okay by yourself, because unfortunately people suck. Meet people and I've met people and then they end up not being who you think they are, and that sucks. But if you love your own company and you can appreciate your own company, those things won't matter as much because you can have fun by yourself. Second thing is the friends you have had in middle school or junior high, whatever it's called in your school, you will not have going into high school. That sounds mean and awful, but it's just the God honest truth. You just won't. People meet new people have different classes. It's so mixed up in high school. Some people, there's just so many different classes and people are put in all different classes that you probably most likely will not end up in the classes with your friends. Therefore, you will drift apart and not be friends anymore. Now, you'll still have friends and you'll still probably be friends with some of the same people and the same groups, but it won't be like it is now. So just be prepared for that. Have fun and make friends. So, you won't have the same friends you've always had, but you still have fun and get involved and make friends. You can make new friends. There's not all awful people. Not everyone is terrible. Most people are pretty great, and you can make new friends. Sorry, I had to cut the video off for a second because my dad randomly showed up at 12:30 in the afternoon. Don't know why he's off that early. So anyway, I think I was leaving off with this one. Make memories and take pictures. That's it. I mean, if you're not big on some things like that, like pictures and videos, and then whatever, I would still make memories, and that's a big thing because you're gonna get out of high school, and if you don't do those things, you're gonna wish you did. But if you're somebody like me that cares about pictures and videos, take as many as you can. Just take as many as you can, because I took pictures and videos, but I don't have as many as I wish I did, and I'm now regretting that because I barely remember anything from freshman and sophomore year. That's sad. I should definitely be able to go back and laugh at certain things or just know certain things, even the bad things. You just want to remember those things. This one's a really big one for me. Pick an adult you can trust. Because one thing I've learned in high school, and my situation is different based on the fact that I have an IEP, not an IEP, a 504, I don't know why I called that, 504. And that's just basically a plan that's set in place because I have a physical disability. When it comes to that, adults are straight, just trash people. They just are. People suck. They treat you horribly. They treat you differently. It's a whole thing. And I'm number one person to talk about how I'm not disabled and I'm not different, but that just doesn't matter to adults. So pick an adult you can trust. Even if you don't have anything, you're gonna want someone you can go to vent about things and to complain about things, or about school, home, whatever, they're going to become really important to you. I personally we have multiple counselors in my school, and I've talked to one of those counselors, and I have her phone number. Like, she means everything to me. She's helped me so much in so many situations, and I'm so glad I finally met her. I wish I would have met her sooner and started talking to her sooner, because she definitely would have saved me a lot of hurt that I went through. Join a sport or club. If you're a sports person, join every sport you can. If you're a club person, more private person, join all of those that you can. Especially if you're someone that doesn't have as many friends like me, because it'll keep you busy and keep you from thinking about those things, keep you out of the house. Like, that's important, just to like not be trapped inside all the time. And yeah, just join a sport or club if you can. Another thing for me that is important, and I wish I would have done this, stay on task and keep your grades up. Because, oh my God, in high school, at least where I go, if you fail a class, like, you're not necessarily held back, but you have to retake that class, and you'll keep retaking it until you pass it. So just do good and pass it the first time, because it ain't gonna be worth it later, I promise you. Take all required classes that you can ASAP. So, like, you have to have, in high school, you have to have 40 credits, and there's required classes. Take all of them that they'll allow you to take when you can take them, and summer classes. But then that also goes back to staying on task and passing the class, because you can take a class that is supposed to be for the next year sooner, but if you don't pass it, then it was pointless and you have to retake it the next year anyway. So for me, this year, my last year, is literally just going to be taking classes I want to take and random classes, because I got all of the required ones out of the way prior. So my senior year is going to be so easy. But there's a lot of people that aren't going to have that. It's going to be kind of hard for them because they didn't choose to get those classes out of the way and also just stay on task and pass the class to start with. One of the last things I want to touch on, you will have at least one really hard year. And whether that be like classes wise or mentally, social wise. For me, it was mentally and like my social aspect of it. Junior year was my hardest year. Well, sophomore and junior year, honestly, for me. Just because, like I said before, people suck. People are going to be out to get you, and it's awful. But that goes back to loving your own company. But just be prepared that there's going to be at least one year, whether it be really hard classes or really sucky people, you're going to struggle in one of these years. Some people struggle in all of them. Luckily, I didn't. I only had to struggle 2 of the years. Like, I remember literally asking my mom if I could just drop out because it was that bad, and I hated it. Next thing kind of goes into more of like in the classroom, the actual teaching and the actual class part of it. If you're somebody that learns differently, because I know that I am, make sure you focus on things that you know, how you do things. Make sure you know how you do things and you know how you learn. Because most teachers aren't going to care that you learn differently, because unfortunately there's probably only one of you in that class that learns differently, or the other people that learn differently don't speak up. So you have to speak up and say what you're struggling in. You have to voice it, put your foot down, because there's going to be teachers that are probably mean and don't care that you learn differently and purposely go out of their way to make it more difficult for you. At least that happened to me, unfortunately. But say something earlier. Don't wait until you're failing the class and then it's like, oh, well, crap, now I'm failing. And because then at that point you can't blame the teacher, because you didn't go to the teacher and complain about it beforehand. If you go to the teacher and complain about it beforehand, it can be fixed. Learning different sucks, and it can be very difficult, but there's things you can do to make it easier on you as well. Okay, that's all I have for advice. Hopefully for some of you, and hopefully it makes you realize some things going into high school. Hope you enjoyed. I have more videos coming out soon, particularly about school, like going into it, and like I just have a lot more ideas, and I cannot wait to film them and upload them. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.